Welcome to One Brothas Mind, and I am KD Smooth. Today we will question and challenge popular information and views from a B1 perspective, while we expose the real facts you need. We do this to strengthen your logical, critical, and discerning thinking skills, because in today's world, hard choices are mandatory and they come with consequences. So you need all the information. And at One Brothas Mind, we do this from a B1 Yeshua the Christ followers perspective. Now, if you're not ready, you better get ready with KD Smooth at One Brothas Mind. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Back again, it's KD Smooth with you, coming to you with a new report for this evening. Tonight, family, we're going to do an assessment, if you will, and an update or review. Tonight, we're going to do this assessment and review on this. Y'all boy. Yeah. We're going to go in a little bit on this, family, because there, for some reason, seems to still be a lot of people, a lot of black people, that still, for whatever reason, are not listening and paying attention to what y'all boy Biden is doing, has been doing, and has done. So we're going to look into it a little bit, family. We're going to peep it out, peep under the covers, and see what we can learn and discern about your boy Biden and his administration. Okay? But before we dig into homeboy, we're going to make sure, family, to please like, share, and subscribe to One Brothas Mind. Because remember, we're here trying to give you the information and facts you need. Make sure when you subscribe, family, you turn on all notifications as well, so that you get all of the alerts when we go live and when we upload new content. Okay? So, yeah, have y'all been paying attention? I mean, really paying attention to this dude? Have y'all really been watching everything that's doing? It's so much that many of y'all may have missed a lot of stuff. But no worries. KD Smooth got you here at One Brothas Mind. I'm going to help you out. I'm going to make it as easy as I can for you. Okay? So we're going to dig in here. Now remember, this fool was on the Breakfast Club being interviewed by Charlemagne the Guy. He made the statement that you see on your screen. If you ain't black if you don't vote for me. If you don't vote for Biden. Family, I'd have lost my job that day if I was working there at the Breakfast Club. Because I just had to step the homeboy right on the spot for that kind of disrespect. They would have had to cut the tape, edit it, whatever. But when I stepped to him, I would have made sure that I had my recording going while I stepped to him, so there could never be any question as to why I got fired. I would have called him out right there on live during the live interview. What you mean? The hell you think you are? You know, man. Anyway. So, yeah, he said that, y'all. You don't believe me? Look it up. Google it. Pull it up on YouTube. It's everywhere. You can find it. I'm not going to replay that foolishness. Y'all still voted for this fool. Okay, so we're going to dig in here. To begin, please understand this, family. A lot of times, especially if you follow the One Brothas Mind channel here on YouTube, you will begin to recognize a theme with a lot of my videos here. Is I like to step back or pull back and do somewhat of an overview or a broad view or a macro view of different situations, because oftentimes if you're just looking at each of the individual reports or individual news reports and things that are happening, two things are happening. One, if you're just looking at each individual report, you can never see the big picture. And oftentimes it's seeing the big picture that gives you all the clarity that you need. In addition to that, if you're focused on each individual little news report or whatever, and that's what you're being pulled and tugged emotionally back and forth this way, that way, with each report, good or bad. Okay? So that's not a good place or position to be in, family, on many things. So once again, here at One Brothas Mind, we're going to step back. We're going to pull back and do somewhat of an overview look. We're going to do the drone view, the helicopter view. See what this fool been doing, man. Okay? All right, let's get this ride started here. First off, yeah, this is where y'all started. Dumber and Dumb, or Dumber and Dumber. But I repeatedly kept trying to tell people over and over and over again, there is virtually zero difference between these two fools and between these two parties. Many of you have heard it before. You're just the two feathers on the same bird, or there's a bunch of ways to explain it. But these are just two fools vying to lead the same white supremacist U.S. country. So they not planning on doing anything different and changing much of anything. Right? They may do it in their own independent ways, do they little jacked up, backed up, satanic stuff. But it don't matter. Kept trying to tell y'all that. But y'all let the mainstream media, the mainstream bleedia, scare y'all, convince y'all about everything, including this, that, oh, you better not vote for him. You better not let him win, because if you got to vote for us, so to make sure that this fool don't win. Because this going to be bad if this fool, y'all let Trump win. And you even had a whole bunch of black people telling other black people that already been knowing better. Been knowing the difference between making trying to make a choice between two devils, that's a waste of time. And as Abba Dick Gregory once said, Yah and evil do not occupy the same space. So you got black people running around telling other black people who said, I ain't got nothing to do with none of that. I ain't stupid. You better come on. You better vote, cause you must be gonna vote for Trump. You must want them. You a Trumper. Really? Really? You a Bidender. We're gonna see how bad that makes you here in just a moment, or what that makes you. Okay? All they do, all they were doing, all that they are ever gonna do is play on your fears. That's all they do. They have nothing, or let's say this, they plan to do nothing or offer nothing tangible to black people on purpose. And they'll pretty much tell you Trump will tell you to your face. Okay, at least you know what you're dealing with. But tonight, I'm gonna show y'all your boy Biden. We're gonna clear up to make sure that there is no more misconception of what this fool is doing and how he's playing the black people that voted for him. Okay? And at the end of this broadcast, I'm gonna share with y'all the solution in regards to voting. Okay? So stay with me. All right? Be clear, family. Black people did not die just for the right to vote. That makes no sense. That's like dying for the right to go up to a whites only water fountain, but never taking a drink, never getting cold water for yourself out of it. That makes no sense. No sense. The truth is what's on your screen. They did not die and risk death for just the right to vote. They did it so we can vote for representatives that give us tangibles to make our black people's lives better and safer. Do you see the difference? They did it to ensure and to fight to get something out of it. We're not getting what we need out of voting. Okay? Y'all just going in and getting a sticker. That's all you getting is a sticker. Looking hella crazy when you posting it online. Are we clear? Okay. So let's share with you. Let me share with you about your boy Biden. Okay? Let's dig into him a little bit here. As you see on your screen, back in 1975, Joe Biden, I have his comments here where he was slamming slavery reparations, school busing resurfaced by the Washington Post. What did your boy, the dude you broke your neck to go vote for, what did he say? What kind of politics does he play? What's his mentality toward black people? Here you go. Mr. Biden told people, the People paper, a Delaware-based weekly newspaper in 1975, I do not buy the concept, popular in the 60s, which said, we have suppressed the black man for 300 years, and the white man is now far ahead in the race for everything our society offers. In order to even the score, we must now give the black man a head start or even hold the white man back to even the race. I don't buy that. So you voted for him. He went on to say, I don't feel responsible for the sins of my father and grandfather. He continued at the time. I feel responsible for what the situation is today, for the sins of my own generation. And I'll be damned if I feel responsible to pay for what happened 300 years ago. Meanwhile, he literally has the money and wealth, him and all his boys in politics on the Hill. They got the money and stolen wealth from slavery literally in their pockets from 300 years ago. That's the wealth that they started and purchased their businesses with. That's the wealth that's financing their campaigns. That's the wealth that they living on. But again, he said, I'll be damned. While having this money, this stolen wealth in my pocket, if I feel responsible to pay for the stolen money and land, murders, rapes, etc., 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 from 300 years ago. This your boy you voted for, right? If that's not bad enough, I got a couple of clips here I want to share with you, family. Just a couple of quick clips that I would love to share with you. Right quick, family, of more of the greatest hits from Biden. Okay? Let's get it going here. Let's get it going.
And I will cease when I finish this statement. The consensus is A, we must take back the streets. It doesn't matter whether or not the person that is accosting your son or daughter or my son or daughter, my wife, your husband, my mother, your parents. It doesn't matter whether or not they were deprived as a youth. It doesn't matter or not whether or not they had no background that enabled them to become socialized into the fabric of society. It doesn't matter whether or not they're the victims of society. The end result is they're about to knock my mother on the head with a lead pipe, shoot my sister, beat up my wife, take on my sons. So I don't want to ask what made them do this. They must be taken off the street. That's number one. There's a consensus on that. The Democratic chairman of the Judiciary Committee, the Democratic President of the United States of America, the Democratic Attorney General, the Republican leader of this effort, Senator Hatch, the Republican senator from Texas. We all agree on that. Now, we can find some fringe folks in the study groups on the right wing and left wing, libertarians and left-wingers in my party who say, no, that's not what we should do. But politically, that consensus has been arrived at. I acknowledge there was not that consensus in the 60s. There is today. There's a second thing that we all have agreed upon, and that is unless we do something about that cadre of young people, tens of thousands of them, born out of wedlock, without parents, without supervision, without any structure, without any conscience developing, because they literally, I yield myself 3 more minutes, because they literally have not been socialized. They literally have not had an opportunity. We should focus on them now, not out of a liberal instinct for love, brother, and humanity, although I think that's a good instinct, but for simple, pragmatic reasons. If we don't, they will, or a portion of them will, become the predators 15 years from now. And, Madam President, we have predators on our streets that society has, in fact, in part because of its neglect, created. Again, it does not mean because we created them that we somehow forgive them or do not take them out of society to protect my family and yours from them. They are beyond the pale, many of those people. Beyond the pale. And it's a sad commentary on society. We have no choice but to take them out of society. And the truth is, we don't very well know how to rehabilitate them at that point. That's the sad truth. You're looking at the fellow who was one of the primary architects of the Sentencing Commission. You know what the basic premise of the Sentencing Commission is? I know the presiding officer knows. It was the first time in 80 years we rejected the notion that the condition of sentencing must be related to how long it would take to rehabilitate. I'm the guy that said rehabilitation, when it occurs, we don't understand it and notice it, and even when we notice it and we know it occurs, we don't know why. So you cannot make rehabilitation a condition for release. That's why in our system, the federal system, you serve 85% of your time. I remember when it was going on, when I was making these arguments in the late 70s, they used to call it Biden's same time for the same crime provision. It's a shame, but we don't know how to rehabilitate. But there is a consensus, and I will cease. A, we must make the streets safer. I don't care why someone is a malfactor in society. I don't care why someone is antisocial. I don't care why they become a sociopath. We have an obligation to cordon them off from the rest of society, try to help them, try to change their behavior. That's why we do in this bill. We have drug treatment and we have other treatments to try to deal with it, but they are in jail.
Yeah, family. That's y'all boy. But wait, I think I got a couple more for you. Let me get back to your boy. Let me hit you with a couple more little clips here. Let me see here. Bear with me for a moment. See what we got going here. All right. See just a moment, family. Okay, let's give it a shot. Here we go.
Just want to remind you of that. There's no recording.
I'm the first person, black or white, who called attention to the fact that you were finding that there was the rate of people who were African Americans are dying was 3 times that of white people. I don't carry around a stamp on my head saying progressive and I'm AOC, but I have more of a record of getting things done in the United States Congress than anybody you know. Anybody you know. By 2040, this country is going to be minority white European. You hear me? Minority white European. And you guys are going to have to start working more with Hispanics, who make up a larger portion of the population than y'all do. Let's get something straight. You shouldn't be disappointed. What I've done so far is more than anybody else has done this far. Okay? Number one. Number two, I mean what I say when I say it.
I want to ask.
Okay, family. There you go. Got another one for you real quick. Let's try this one out.
I don't think it should be mandatory. I wouldn't demand to be mandatory, but I would do everything in my power. Just like I don't think masks have to be made mandatory nationwide.
He also acknowledged the pandemic could impact his inauguration next month, including the possibility of scaling back the inaugural parade.
I think you're going to see something that's closer to what the convention was.
Okay, family. The last clip was your boy, as y'all heard, confirming that he wasn't gonna mandate the ooh-wee. And here at One Brothas Mind, we call that thing they ultimately did mandate to try to make everybody get. You know, had people getting fired and everything. We call it the ooh-wee. So he said he was not and didn't believe that should be mandated. Same thing with masks. But we know different now, don't we? Okay. So let's get back into this. Family. Where I was at. Yeah. That's your boy that you voted for. And that's just the tip of the iceberg, family. The tip. There's more. So what we're going to do now is look at a couple of more things here on your screen. And on your screen, family, you see a report or a list. A little while back, the UN had what some called a global slavery reparations event. And here to the right, that you see on your screen, is a list of the countries that skipped or refused to attend the event. Because they were talking about reparations for slavery. Right? The UN. What you got on here? Look at the list. Australia, Austria, Bulgaria, Canada, Croatia, Cyprus, the Czech Republic, France, Germany, Greece, Hungary, Italy, the Netherlands, New Zealand, Romania, Slovenia, and Slovakia, the UK. Wait, is that the US on here? Yeah, what? And Honduras. Are you picking up on a common denominator here, family, with this list? Yeah. 95+% of the names on this list are all what? White European countries, most of them who participated directly or indirectly in the slave trade itself. Okay? So let's look at, family. You know, I want to be fair, you know, because I'm that kind of brother. Let's look at the things the tangible things, if you will, so-called tangible, that black people have gotten for your vote for Biden. right? Let's see here. Ooh-wee. You got a Juneteenth holiday. Yay. You got a whole federal holiday, a day off. One day off. You don't get no, they ain't even throw in no food, no free food, nothing, just a day off. And we're gonna say this is Juneteenth Day. Right? I know some of y'all sitting back here, the hard-headed ones. Well, wait, we got the Emmett Till anti-lynching bill. What year did you get that in? Oh yeah, 2022, this year. What year did slavery, was it documented begun? 1619? Wait a minute. One, cross the T, carry the I, dot the P. That's over 400 years. It took over 400 years to get an anti-lynching bill? But this country ain't racist and full of white supremacists. Right. And the anti-lynching bill is so paper thin because, as we know, all the so-called police got to do is rule when they're investigating lynchings that are still going on to this day. Oh, they committed suicide and walk away. No harm, no foul. Everybody go home and eat. Chill out. Talking about an anti-lynching bill. Please. Oh, wait. Some of y'all saying Biden gave the HBCUs some money, some funding. Right. But it was the least amount of funding that he gave out in relation to all the other funding he gave to white and other schools that serve predominantly other groups of people in comparison. Well, wait, I got you. We got the one right here. This the one. Y'all see it on your screen. Your boy Biden gave us, the people who created the music, the originators, the source. Your boy Biden gave us a hip-hop day and a hip-hop history month. How you do that? How we create something ourselves and then somehow you give it to us? It came from... Oh, that's actually what we've been doing for hundreds of years, that they've been we create stuff and then they just spin it and flip it. And either say they created it or try to pat themselves on the back for so-called giving it to us. It's still our recipes, our inventions, our music. Yeah. Okay? So, if you feel there's something else that your boy Biden done gave black people, especially tangibles, let me know. Let me hear it. Holler it from the rafters. Point it out. We looking for it. Okay? But why are you looking for something else? Especially something else tangible that Biden gave black people? I got something for you. we're going to look at what Biden either directly or indirectly has done against black people or has not done for black people. We're going to look at that. Okay? It's on your screen. I slowed it way down for you, family, so that while I go through it, you can let it all just marinate on your spirit. Let it sit on your spirit. Okay? First off, one of the newest things that's happening, your boy is about to do some trickerations and cuts to Social Security program. He literally just hired a fool that for years has been arguing and fighting to cut and eliminate the Social Security program altogether. And your boy, Biden, just hired that dude and put him in charge of the Social Security program. Stay tuned. Also, Biden has been doing and maintaining what this white supremacist country has been doing for hundreds of years. That is empire expansion, attacks on other countries, whether directly or using the disguise of NATO. He sent $100 billion to the Ukraine and into the U.S. military industrial complex and counting. Okay? $100 billion and counting. It ain't even been 12 months yet, and he's already dumped $100 billion into the Ukraine and the military industrial complex, sending weapons and supplies over to the Ukraine. There's more. He's created a hate crime bill for Asians. Even though black people, we've been in this country since before 1619, over 400 years, and every day it's been nothing but hate and terrorism from this country, this government, and most of the white supremacist people within it. Every day. But the hate crime bill is for the Asians. He's agreed to cash settlements for non-citizens or so-called illegal immigrants. You know, the ones that your boy Trump was snatching their kids from them on the border. There was rumored to be up to $450,000 each. And y'all just heard it. On the very day that I'm making this broadcast, under his watch, he's let Roe v. Wade be overturned. Now, Katie Smooth, I'm not necessarily a fan of Roe v. Wade. For me, it's more important that the whole Supreme Court is ran and controlled by these white supremacists. These people from the John Birch Society. You better do your research. So you can understand what these people are really about and what they are really doing and about to do. The John Birch Society, BIRCH, I believe. The same Supreme Court injustice fools, they just ruled recently also that the border cops or immigration cops or forces, they just gave them immunity from being sued for any crimes that they are being committed against human beings, being non-citizens or immigrants. And remember, I just played the clip where he lied and said, "Nah, I don't believe in force ooies." But then what? They turned around and did forced ooies. At least for a while, until the Supreme Court, as it was previously conformed, struck most of that down, right? But that came from your boy Biden. In addition, he's made and gave reparations program and assistance to the nuclear damaged or affected Mexican Americans. Do your research. In addition, he literally made an executive order for the protection of the LGBTQ community. Where's our protective order for black people? He's given $1.9 billion for Central American immigrants or migrants. $1.9 billion. We ain't got a quarter. We built this country. We still ain't got nothing for free. He actually worked and helped create and find 72 million more for Holocaust survivors. We didn't do that. Wasn't that Germany and them over there? Why is the Holocaust survivors getting 72 million from us, from our federal government? Also, he's created and found under the couch another $50 billion for Native Americans, many of which today are only $5 Indians. You don't know what a $5 Indian is, you better look it up. Now, you know what? Let me go and break that down for you real quick. Back just after all the years that the U.S. federal government and military had been dogging the real Native Americans in America, formerly known as Turtle Island. After all those years, the Trail of Tears and all that stuff, the federal government started basically putting together reparations packages and things of that nature for land and all kind of resources and benefits in an attempt to so-called make amends, right? So what ended up happening is all you had to do as a Native American at that time was go to wherever they told you to go to sign up and put your name down or whatever to collect your free plot of land or the area, get access to the reservation land that was carved out for you and all the other resources they had set aside. All you had to do was basically go sign up for it, right? So what ended up happening was there was a whole bunch of our white brothers and sisters at the time that were here, that were still living in poverty. They was seeing all this happening, was like, whoa, wait a minute, but what about me? What about us? Why can't I? I mean, you just give the free stuff away. I mean, hey. That's what they usually do, family. So right at that time as well, there was a census that was being taken. Okay? So a lot of so-called white Americans, they actually bribed the white census takers with $5. They handed them $5, looked the census taker in the eyes, and said, "We are Indians." And the census takers took the $5 and wrote their names down. And when it came to their race or nationality, they put down Indians or Native Americans. Hence, where you get the $5 Indians from. Okay? That are, let's say, they're very bright skinned. Let's say that. Because most real Native Americans, pretty much all, were either black or they were at least of significant color because they came up from the southern border from South American areas. Okay? A lot of the black natives was already here. A lot of the, whether you want to say Hispanic natives, what have you, they were already here. The only people that were new to this land of Turtle Island of America, that it later became, was our European brothers and sisters. And many of them just magically had $5 to get on the good foot list, to be identified as Indians. Also, therefore, being able to then, once that census paper gets turned in and it's documented, they can then go to the census office and get a copy of that paper that now says their name, and then next to it, it says, so-called officially, they're Indians or Native Americans. Now they can take that paper and go right to the next office and get in line with the real Native Americans and collect free land and all these other resources that were being given away. And there you have the origin of the $5 Indians in about 45 seconds. Okay? To continue. If you didn't hear about it, under Biden's administration and watch, now non-citizens, people who are not American citizens, now get the right to vote in New York. I'm going to say that again. People who ain't even citizens now get the right to vote in New York. Also, under Biden's administration or during it, you got many of the HBCUs, the historical black colleges and universities. They're giving free tuition to not black people, to Ukrainian immigrants and refugees. Not black people. Ukrainian immigrants and refugees free full rides, while our children are being robbed and most are being forced to go into crazy student loan debt. Now remember this one, family? Your boy Biden and his Justice Department, they literally tried to give your boy Ahmaud Arbery's killers, the two dusty dudes, or three dusty dudes, and the two dusty ones, and the other dusty one with the camera, they tried to give them plea deals to help them out so their sentences and things wouldn't have to be so bad. This was your boy Biden and his Justice Department. Biden also secured more land for the Catawba Nation, another Native American nation. I wonder if they're real Native Americans or just $5 Indians. In addition, he created a criminal justice executive order for Native Americans. And as I reported earlier, he and the U.S. government skipped out on the UN's anti-racism and slavery reparations event, along with the rest of most of the European countries. But y'all got to remember, Biden's political mentor was the former Ku Klux Klan member, Robert Byrd. That's who taught him the game of politics. That's where he gets his whole political perspective from. In addition to that, Biden was the sponsor of the 1994 crime bill, that while he didn't specifically say it, it was a crime bill against primarily black people. But y'all family, I specifically had black people telling me, oh no, he done changed since then. They swofo up and down, Biden is different now. So now you gotta give him a chance. He gonna show you. Yeah, he's showing us all right. Keep looking at your screen. And by the way, shh, y'all do know there is still not been an Ice Cube meeting. He ain't got a meeting yet. Because Ice Cube was trying to talk to any of them about some tangibles for the black community. Biden ain't had time on the schedule for that yet. In addition, the sanctions that the U.S. has placed against Russia, they're not really hurting Russia that bad. If y'all paying attention, they're hurting the U.S. and causing the inflation that we're dealing with in the U.S. right now today. Contributing to the shortages and, oh my God. Are y'all paying attention? The high gas prices. Also, in addition to that, your boy Biden is allowing Ukrainian Nazis into the U.S. A significant portion of the Ukrainian citizens, they are practicing Nazis. They got Nazi tattoos all over them in the military and everywhere else. If y'all really been paying attention, you saw the one lady that, I forget what little sporting event she participated in. She got second place, and she just bust open a Nazi flag right on the podium, the little award podium. Bam! I don't care. These, or a lot of these people, are the people that your boy Biden is bringing in. They're bringing in reinforcements, family. And at the same time, let some Haitians show up at the border. Or some people from different parts of Africa show up at the border. Y'all seen what happens? They come out like Lone Ranger with horses and whips. I'll continue. Your boy Biden has raised Medicare premiums. No. Y'all said he done stuff for us. Well, I'm listing the stuff that he's done. Supposedly tangible stuff to help us, and none of this stuff is tangibly helping us. It's all crushing us even more. And of course, there's no real punishments for the January 6th terrorists either. And while he at it, all that money they designated and found under the couch cushion for the COVID relief packages and funds, a lot of that money they didn't pass out. They sat there and just kind of held tight purse on a good portion of that money. So once things seemed to ease up, they said, we got all this extra little relief money. What we gonna do with it? The boy Biden said, y'all go ahead and hire some more cops with that money instead of go on ahead and continue to spread COVID relief. Again, because of your boy, Biden, inflation is out of control. And it's going to keep getting worse, y'all. You got supply shortages. What was the latest? She had the baby food. They went to the tampons. What else? What was it? There was another one here I just heard of the other day. What was it? Oh, man, I can't think of it. There's a bunch of them. In the black community, we got food deserts. So when you go to the nearest grocery store miles and miles away, the shelves are all empty for the most part. And I told y'all, because when that's happening, most black people that can, they're driving out to the suburb areas, going where they got 3, 4, 5, 6 grocery stores right in the same couple of mile radius. Because they know that's where the supplies are. That's where the food is. So black people are driving out there going to get supplies. Family. I told y'all that in one of my previous videos. That is not gonna last long. Prepare yourself. As this inflation continues to get worse, and the shortages get worse, you're gonna be trying to drive out there to that suburban area or to that new downtown area, to those grocery stores, and you're gonna pull up and they're gonna have a roadblock out there with a bunch of shotguns. Mark my word. Book it. Turn around. You are not authorized to go any further. Turn around. Do not proceed or we will shoot. That's what you're going to run into. In addition, Y'all been seeing this whole thing, this whole satanic insanity thing play out with so-called CRT, right? But what you have not seen is a counter response from your boy Biden and the federal government. You ever ask yourself why? Why not? I mean, the federal government controls what the public school systems, most of the schools teach anyway. They control the curriculum, right? So why hasn't the federal government mandated a whole list of required real educational history about slavery and racism and white supremacy here in America? Why hasn't the federal government just said, hey, these things are going to be taught by every school in the nation or they don't get funding? Yeah. Hasn't happened, has it? Almost like as if Biden and the government agrees with this whole push against this ghost of so-called CRT. Under Biden's watch, he's allowed the Supreme Court to be stacked with white supremacist conservatives from the John Birch Society. Again, look it up, family. The John Birch Society. He knew that happened and as soon as he became president. If he really wanted to do something about it, all they had to do was add a couple of more positions to the Supreme Court to dilute what you're dealing with today. Didn't happen, did it? They could have been done that. Almost like it's when there's no action is action or is agreement. Just like for a lot of our white brothers and sisters, when you don't also stand, fight, and contend immediately against white supremacy and racism, your non-action is your action in agreement with it. Right? Again, family, y'all remember the horses and the so-called wannabe Lone Rangers out there on the border attacking the Haitian immigrants? You haven't seen that with the Ukrainian immigrants, have you? No, come on, y'all. Now, what happened to the COVID rent relief fund? Family, thousands of people across the country got played by that so-called COVID rent relief fund. They purposely made the whole setup, paperwork, and filing process and system jacked up to make it almost impossible to get through, to actually get assistance. And then for many of those who actually fought through that and got assistance, as soon as they got assistance and that money got to the landlord, guess what happened? The landlords put them out anyway. As soon as the eviction moratoriums were lifted. So, was it relief? remember, family, your boy, Biden, he kept the Trump tax cuts for the wealthy. Y'all forgot that one, didn't you? He kept them. Again, non-action is agreement. We still don't have no at least $15 minimum wage either, do we? As a federal minimum wage. They came out with some jackleg plan talking about we're going to gradually move it up a little bit over the next 25 years. Good luck with that. But inflation is going bananas today. Another Supreme Court ruling that came down here recently, where they ruled that, now listen to this, family, a convicted person's innocence that can be proven because of bad or botched representation, a bad lawyer or bad representation. They got convicted because they weren't represented correctly or reasonably. Is not enough to overturn their conviction or at least give them a new trial. So you got evidence that not only your lawyer sucked and didn't care and didn't represent you well enough, but you got evidence that your lawyer left out proof that proved your innocence. You got both of them, and the Supreme Court is saying that's still not enough for an innocent person to be taken off of death row, to have their conviction overturned, or at least get a new trial when you have all the proof that you ain't had nothing to do with whatever crime they so-called convict you of. Yeah. In addition, there still ain't been no cash reparations to descendants of slaves, the foundational Black Americans. Where's that? Where our bread at? You got a bunch of other fools talking about reparations and all kind of other forms. That ain't, family, be clear. When they talking about we gonna give educational grants and housing grants and anything else but cash and land. Everybody else got cash and land. So when they talking about reparations for us, the few fools that are talking about it, and they're talking about all kind of other stuff, all they're really talking about is moving money from the hands of white people directly into the hands of other white people. The money never is touching Black people's hands. If there's a housing grant, all the Black person is doing is going in, signing a piece of paper, and the money's going from an account owned by the white government or white people to another account owned by white people who own the property. It's never touching the hands of the Black person that's supposed to be reparations. Be clear on that, family. So in that example, the only way you actually can get your reparations is you do that, you sign that paper, they give you the deed to the house, and the next day, you put the house up for sale and sell it for everything you can get for it, cash. And then move on with your life. Okay? Again, no action is agreement. There's no Black anti-hate crime bill. Asians got one. Some other people got different groups, LGBTQ. A bunch of people got anti-hate crime bills. We ain't got none. Even though we've been terrorized for over 400 years by this country, and many of its civilized, high IQ citizens. We don't have an anti-hate crime bill still. Oh, wait, I know. Some of y'all listening on, well, wait. They gave reparations. We got reparations. They gave reparations to Tulsa. Wait, hold up. You talking about the so-called reparations money they supposed to be given to Tulsa massacre survivors that took over 100 years to get, where there's only like 2 or 3 of them that's actually still alive? They had to live. They are like over 100 years old. What is a reparation gonna do for them? Man, y'all better stop. Then y'all don't forget, remember the $15 billion commitment your boy Biden lied about? Talking about he was going to give $15 billion commitment for black entrepreneurs. Well, where that's at? Well, did you look under the couch cushions where you got all the other money for everybody else? Look under the chair. Pull the carpet up. Look for it. And the list goes on and on and on, family. So, again, I put this on here, family, so you can take your time. Sit back and just admire all of what your boy Biden has given you for your vote. All of the tangible stuff that he has given black people that voted for him. This the list, y'all. Please explain to me how any of the things on this list make you and your life safer or better in any tangible way. Yeah. So, family, if you need to see this list more, just rewind or replay. It'll be here. You can take each one of these, Google them, and get more information on it. This is just an overview. We just step back to look at all the wonderful things that black people who voted for Biden has gotten. All the tangibles. Man, y'all doing good, huh? Yeah. So, y'all saying, all right, then, well, what's the solution? It's on your screen. On your screen. Reparations now or no vote. And I'm not saying, or let me explain it to you like this. We as the black community must use our voting power to only vote for people for their re-election campaigns and specifically communicate with them that we will only vote for you if you, as an elected official, have given black people tangibles, or given us our reparations that directly make our lives better. If while you are in office, this is locally or federal, all the way up to the presidency. If you have given black people tangibles or our reparations, cash, and land, we will vote you back in. We will all vote for you for your re-election and do our part to help you get re-elected. Okay, family? That's how you get around and beat the whole concept of voting for people because of what they say during their campaign. And then as soon as you vote for them and now they're elected, they tell you to go fly a kite. They don't do nothing of what they said they was going to do. That's how you beat that system. It's not rocket science. Okay, family? Stop getting played, y'all. In addition, another quick nugget I'll throw in here. We gotta get away from why is the black community not supporting and financing our own presidential candidates? Similar to like what they did in the election for that your boy Marcel Dixon was running in. He ran on a reparations platform against your boy Clyburn. We can support and push our own candidates and our own agenda. He did such a good job that they sent down Kamala and all kind of stuff. Clyburn got nervous. And that was just Marcel's first attempt at running for office. He lost, but that was his first attempt. There's a lot to learn. If he decides to run again and he does more, implementing of the things that he learned from the first campaign, guarantee you he's going to get a whole lot of votes next time. And he's going to get closer and closer and closer. And then bang! Gotcha. We can do that for most local elections, as well as for President of the United States. Why is that? There's no requirement it's got to only be two parties. If you look around globally at other countries, they got 3-4 different presidential parties and groups that are running for president. But the so-called Democrats and Republicans, they work together to prevent other parties and other candidates from even so-called getting officially on the ballot. They make up all kind of crazy rules to restrict you, prevent competition. Don't that sound like just what all the major corporations do? Oh, wow. The U.S. government is a corporation. You see what I did there? So, family, be clear. Stop voting for these fools. Stop believing the lies that they are pushing on you and relying on your fear. Just don't play their game. Guarantee them that we are not playing your game unless you pass us the ball sometimes or pass some tangibles over our way so we can shoot and dribble like everybody else. We're not playing in your game. We're not supporting you. Period. So you got about little more than another 2 years, Biden. If you ain't gave us our reparations, why you done gave out all these billions to everybody else? And for him, it's just reparations. It ain't no other any other thing he can do. It's reparations now. Cut the check. If he doesn't do this by whatever means necessary, we don't vote for him or any of them in the next election. And so when whoever gets elected so-called, in the next election, we go right to them again. Okay, you got 4 years. Cut the check. You want to be re-elected? Break us off our cheese now. They will quickly realize that paying us our reparations and giving us the tangibles that we demand is the fastest way to get and maintain and remain being the president of the United States and the party in charge. That's all. Stop falling for the okie doke, black people. And one more time, for those in the cheap seats. No, our ancestors did not die just for the right to vote. That's insane. Stop saying that. Stop believing that. It's not true. It's a lie. They knew even back then that if they voted and they voted for people that were going to give us tangibles, make laws that made our lives better, that's how our lives would get better in this country. That's how we would get what we need. And I got another nugget for you, family. They also understood because of slavery. And it wasn't just them that understood this, but they understood because of slavery in many areas, cities, states throughout this country. We outnumbered them. So if everybody voted, including us, in many of these locations, we controlled the election. We determined who won the election, not them. That's why they established a whole new triggeration plan to come up with to, make sure that people or inmates don't get the right to vote. They came up with the electoral college. Man, look, do your research on all that. All of those and other plans that they came up with and put in place, those are safety nets against the now freed black people who now can vote. In addition to the terrorism with threatening and with the KKK and hunting us at night, and showing up at the polls with guns, shooting at us, and all the other crazy stuff, the redlining and redistricting and all that other stuff. It's all because they know something, and I'm about to tell you right now, the last nugget, for those that have stayed with me. They know something that they've not admitted. And what they know is, if you go by the census, so-called census here in America, it says we're about 13, 14% of the population. Family, It is a lie. Some of y'all like, what? You tripping? How? Because there are thousands of black people. I'd argue hundreds of thousands of black people here in America that never, ever fill out those census papers. And they are not being counted because we don't want to, for various reasons, let's just say that. But we're here. And if and when we see there is something that we have to support, all those black people that are not being counted on the census, that represent our real numbers in here in America, we come out the closet on you. That's how Obama got elected. Go back and look at the election results for Obama. The first election. The Republicans was going crazy. Like, where the hell did they get all these votes from all of a sudden? Red areas turned blue overnight. Wow. They can't do that. Cause there's way more black people in America than 13, 14%. Put that one in your pocket. Okay, family? Just a real quick one. So, there you have it, family. Let me know what you think on this video. I hope that I have updated and informed and hopefully educated y'all Biden voters and supporters as to what's really going on, as well as giving you the solution that we must enact to right this ship and get our reparations now. Because, family, if we don't get our reparations now, in a few years, it's not even going to matter anymore. There's not even going to be nothing that can rescue or save most of us in the black community, family. All the dynamics are changing in this country. And we're on the bottom. And we will permanently stay on the bottom if we don't get our reparations now. And start building our communities. Building and starting our businesses. Investing in ourselves. And doing like they did in Tulsa and other black Wall Streets. Circulating our money in our community 20, 30, 40 times with more and other black people in our community, enriching ourselves before our money leaves our community. But again, y'all let me know what y'all think, family. We got to make this thing happen. Get it right when it comes to voting going forward, and force their hands, use our voting power, get our reparations. So we got a chance at least. Okay? Again, remember to please like and share this broadcast with One Brothas Mind and all of our broadcasts. Make sure you subscribe and turn on all notifications so that you get all the alerts when we go live and when we upload new content. And this concludes this broadcast for One Brothas Mind. We thank you for joining us. And as a part of the new black media, B1 choices are mandatory and being on code is required. But never fear, Yeshua the Christ is with you always. Shalom.